And when they came to the multitude, a man came up to them, falling on his knees before him and saying, "Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic and is very ill. For he often falls into the fire and often into the water. And I brought him to your disciples, and they could not cure him." And Jesus answered and said, "O believing and perverted generation," which is such a fascinating response that Jesus would give. "How long will I be with you? How long shall I put up with you? Bring him here to me." And Jesus rebuked him, and the demon came out of him, and the boy was cured at once. Then the disciples came to Jesus privately and said, "Why could we not cast it out?" And he said to them, "Because of the littleness of your faith. For truly I say to you, if you have a faith as a mustard seed, you shall say to this mountain, 'Move here to there,' and it shall move, and nothing shall be impossible to you. But this kind does not go out except by prayer and fasting." You know, it's really interesting in this scripture how Jesus kind of openly rebukes. You know, the gentleman brings Jesus this problem. My son is possessed by this demon. This demon is tormenting him, throwing him into the fire, throwing him into the water. I brought him to your disciples, and your disciples were not able to cast the demon out. And Jesus, when he hears this, he says, "Oh, believing and perverted generation." I just find that crazy. I don't understand. Now, part of this is the harmony of the Gospels. They kind of have an explanation here. And it says, this is the only known occasion where Jesus' sensitivity showed itself in the form of momentary impatience with his environment, coming as a response to the Father, and the expression probably indicates a connection between the man and the scribes, and it's referencing Mark 9:14. They may have used the man and his son to gather evidence against the 9 disciples, and therefore also against Jesus. So the antagonism of the Lord's enemies surfaced once again and was met with this sharp rebuke. So it's crazy to me because you read this scripture the first time without any dialogue, without really understanding what is happening in that moment. And it's easy to misinterpret why Jesus made that rebuke, but it's because he could see that there was potentially a poor motive from the people that were around there. Crazy. The other part that's really interesting is this kind only comes out by prayer and fasting. And I think that tells us that not all demons are the same. Some demons, some demonic influences have more power than others.